Yeah, and this is where, I kind of felt like I would expect to see some cover coming out of Brig. Finally does manage to do so, and in turn, not just gets one, but gets two. And suddenly, just like that, in the blink of an eye, on top, and Deadeye's guys, they're on the verge of extinction from the server. And Rig, he's gonna ensure that he unleashes all that crap, puts them into suffering, into their misery, their agony. T2K has done a really good job. And on top, just scouting through the lands, trying to get his players back online. But seems like that's going to be really hard fought. Because T2K, look at the split, right? It's Sandesh that's kind of trying to close in on the distance. So Yog, he's going to heal himself up. It's all down to Precious and on top, who I must say are kind of surrounded and are not at the best spots to provide cover to each other.
For a second, it looked like the players of T2K are going to be eliminated because two players were already down on their knees. But the way T2K, they kept their calm and composure, went in for those crucial revivals, the perfect cover fire that came from the side of Rig. Now, Deda guys, they are on the back foot situation. On the other side of the map, we have few fights happening here and there where trades are coming in, but no confirmation. Up until now, but T2K, they are still eyeing for this compound. On the other side, Seal also joins in the fray as they take down Sandesh over there. Sandesh all by himself. There is no chance that the revival can come in, as Soulless with his buggy is going for the confirmation point. But he needs to be a bit cautious of 1+ position from the side of Dead guys. I believe it is on top Sir who went in for the flank angle, having an upper hill advantage on the players of CP Esports.
Oh, there you go. Soulless, Team Seal, they just kind of joined the party and managed to get a few knocks to their own. And this is where T2K, they might be hurting over here. This is something they did not anticipate, which they should have, as T2K, they've got no other options rather than just tucking their tails and running into safe covers, because a lot of teams are contesting for this hilly areas. And Sanchir also joins the fray, as it is Seal now having to deal against Team Sitem, and look at them just marching through and trying to just run over somebody. But Dobu and Jiro getting themselves into a little bit of cover. QB has that beautiful flank angle, which he will try to get into his favor, but it is Desert who puts Sanchir down, and he's down to his misery, as Becca, wanting to just run away from here, does not get the chance. But Dobu, he's been traded off. It has all come down to Aero and Soulless. Soulless, not having the best of HPs, needs to administer the first aid quickly, because now they need to get away from here. And big question is Sitem gonna let them do that? Because Desert seems to be on the chase, as Soulless, he spots him out, takes a few shots at his direction, just wards him off. But Desert in turn just steps out of his vehicle and wants to fight this one out.
It's like a deja vu moment for like the previous Erangel, where 5 teams were contesting for the same spot. This time it's 4 teams, where Data Guys was a smarter one. They already made a quick escape. Now Sitem and Seal Esports, they are trying to lock horns with each other. Seal do realize this is not the position to fight in, but Aero, perfect cover fire coming in from the tight advantage, takes on one player from the side of Sitem Esports, giving the chance to his teammate on a sliver of HP to make a quick escape and scuttle back to the safety. 3 defeat points already in the favor of Seal, but the numbers are not in their favor. With already 14 teams in the lobby, Seal Esports, they need to approach the game so very cautiously. At the same time, we have the players of Raw Officials and Dio Esports also lurking nearby, and Seal Aero, he has no idea that he's already heading in the direction of Dio Esports. But somewhere else on the map, we have Stalwart Esports also going up against the players of DRS, where Delta has been knocked out.
Huh. Delta, I mean DRS haven't had a bed of feathers, have they? So far, the way they've been, it had to do with how the flight path trajectory was. But now, you find the players of Seal, and one of them is gonna get taken down over here. Now, considering this shift, this is gonna favor the boys from NB a lot. And this is one of those games where I really feel that they need to get a victory. Especially even after Mondo's failure. I think Fistboy has been doing so well. And Mondo, this is a perfect chance to redeem himself. I mean, we've seen this player do wonders during the league stages, but has sort of been absent today, hasn't he?
He is. So many players who are performing really good in the league stage, they are missing in the grand finals. Maybe it's the pressure. I don't know. But maybe from day number 2 they will start stepping up. But right now, yet the Uta in close frontal battle with the plus of IFC demo over there with a UMP-45. The vehicle blows up and demo goes down. And yet Uta, he might be looking for a confirmation with that Molotov. Physical position should be coming in. The smokes are there, providing necessary cover to Zoil. The DBS, he takes down Yeta Uta. Now Raw, they are surviving with only 2 players. Claw is in the close proximity and looks like he's already cooking up a grenade. And Zoil needs to be so very cautious. Perfect grenade comes in and brings the demise of Demo. Now IHC surviving with only 3 players, but for Claw, it's still way too much. A 1v3 situation. He takes down 1 player. Can he take down the remaining 2? The answer is no. And finally, Raw officials with 1 elimination, they have been eliminated at the 14th spot.
Yeah, kind of feels bad for them as they kind of went to fight against the Titans, and was just too hard or too hot for them to handle in this situation. Alex would be hoping to get that rest back up, and in the meanwhile, Leo wants to capitalize on this opportunity. They do not want to let IHC breathe for much longer, but they're just kind of scoundering around the place, looking for places where they could strike from. But IHC, they're not giving them that much room and space. In turn, have lost out on one of their players. And not the best of situations to be in. And at this point, you know, IHC have to reconsider their plans, their ideas over here, as Slipknot has really found himself a really good place over here. Zyol not having the best of angles, Godless might just be in a whole world of trouble as his position has been relayed to his teammate Smokey, and Godless out in the open. Haidami wanting to just drive him over. Godless completely flabbergasted with that push coming in. And just like that, IHC, it is Zyol who has to shoulder all the responsibilities, but maybe a little too difficult. But before he goes down, he ensures that he gets those finishes as Zyol still fighting on, but not for so long as... well, before going down, made sure that he reduced the numbers on Leo. But there you see, finally the mercenaries of death arrive for medical vibes, certainly showing interest, and you cannot escape the clutches of Haidami. And another, the last player, Smokey, also follows suit as Team Leo Esports. They also get eliminated.
And kudos to Deadeye guys as well, because they did a perfect third party, got 1 defeat point. Now they have grabbed the attention of the plus of 4 MB as East from the height advantage is trying to pepper a few bullets, but in return he received hefty damage. Now East needs to be a bit cautious because we have other team like the plus of Maptex Esports also inside the circle. So 4MB, yes, the segregation, the split that is coming from this side, they're able to get the complete northern control in their favor. But talking about NB Esports, they do have a very good position inside the circle, and with the next circle shift, if it comes in their favor, NB Esports, this might be their game to lose. But right now, 4MV, they are keeping an eye onto the plus of Sitem Esports, and Sitem, they have no idea that Refuse is keeping a close eye onto them.
You know, at this point, like you said, I kind of really like the pointer that you made, that 4MV kind of holding on towards that northern area, right? And NB Esports, they've got to defend with all their might. I've got a little, you know, advantage. You've got a few ridges around to play with. It's not going to be an easy task to make a push at their direction. But the next circle shift, that is going to be really crucial for all these teams to kind of decide their next move. And at this point, you know, Starwood Esports, they finally managed to keep so many of their players alive. Have spotted out the players of high voltage, and they're gonna rack havoc at them as Assassin. He's been knocked out. Malik not at the best of HPs, and Mapetex could also join the party and get a few knocks. And Leo does exactly that as high voltage. Clearly, they thought that they were in a good position, and they realized the next moment that they weren't. And as a result of which, they will have to reconsider their ideas. But you know, to NB's mercy, now they have got a lot of information just to work around with. As Stalwart, finally, they've managed to keep 4 of their players alive. 3 eliminations already in order. As now, the next target just could be the players of Mabit. But it's gonna be a little ambitious if they even get a few knocks. I'm gonna start and ponder if they would be ballsy enough to go for a push. That would not be the wisest of choices, but just trying to deplete their resources, just trying to utilize or just kind of degrade their armors. I think that is what their intention would be, as Precious is hiding in that murky smoke. But once kind of fades out,
ये
that's
था
where Precious is got to make a move.
पेन
And
किन चाहिए पेन ये था
against a team like for Medical Vibes, where they've kind of got him cornered from all possible directions. What could poor Precious do but fall to his own death?
Certainly he does, and for MV, they have managed to keep the entire northern control under their favor. Maptex Esports, well, they are already ranking up those elimination points, 8 points already in their favor. They do have the complete eastern circle control. At the same time, they have a very good position inside the circle. But the split that is coming from their side, Valley all by himself, well, he needs to regroup with his teammates. On the other side, NB Esports, again, they do have a very good compound to their name, but DRS, I'm a little worried about the position of DRS, because on one side we have Stalwart Esports, Maptex Esports, and NB Esports. So it's not just one or two player or one team, it's three teams pointing their crosses towards the side of DRS. They will be grabbing a lot of attention of all the teams in the lobby. So with numbers disadvantage, DRS, they have to be so very cautious. At the same time, Sitim, well, they still have to migrate inside the circle from the western front. I don't think anyone can trouble them. Maybe the players of NB Esports can be that ugly thorn for Sitim.
I mean, they can at this point, but they're not showing any real intentions, right? It's what they're trying to do is just deal with the teams from the edges. And DRS, they've gone into hiding. They've gone into a deep slumber. They have no intentions to come out. Killer, if his a little bit of that helmet is even visible, then Akaza is gonna say thank you and take over. Finally, we get to see Mondo in action. Has managed to survive for so long. That's good for starters, and he's managed to rack up 2 finishes also to his name. Where Setim is just trying to rotate around him, and maybe we could see NB Esports finally getting challenged. And there you go, the battle about to ensue. As Desert, he's taken quite a hefty amount of damage as he cooks up his grenade, and right in front of him he lies as Fistboy. He's gonna burn, but still make sure that he gets the job done, at least gets that knock, and suddenly Sitim, they've got to get on the back foot.
Oh, they are already down to only 2 players with 1 player knocked out. If they can manage to go for the revival, but right now we have DRS and Stalwart Esports, in a matter of few seconds, through those molotovs and the firepower, they have managed to annihilate the remaining players of DRS. At the same time, have the control of that very compound which the players of DRS were having under them. But right now, NB Esports, still they are looking promising. Stalwart Esports, 3 players, 5 defeat points. But Maptex, being the silent assassin in this game, 9 defeat points. All the 4 players alive, they're looking super strong.
No, I really cannot understand why, Sitim are doing this. Constantly just trying to come one by one, posing threat. And it's so difficult, right? Especially, I was talking about this. It's so difficult to engage such a compound from the foothills, You do not know exactly what the challenge lies ahead. And now NB, they've kind of taken a different approach. They've managed to kind of give away that small compound, instead have taken over the squad houses. So it's going to be even making things more difficult for the other teams to try and contest for. But for Medical Vibes, they've kind of put a stop onto their aggression. They just do not want to roam around like headless chickens, just trying to spot around and take everybody and anybody down, whoever they spot. So instead, they're kind of going off for the cleanup from the edges. Now, one of the players of Navitex has been dealt with. So this gives Refuse that little bit of a room and space to go in for the push. And just as the revivers come in, he's making quite a ballsy move over there. Kessie needs to be aware. In fact, all their teammates need to know what they're up to. And Doc922, he's taking a fight in a different direction. Refuse, he's closing in on the gap. Other players of Mabitex are where finally they are, as the shots are being poured over at their direction. Buys the lead and instantly retreats. He knows that he's made his, he's had his chance. He had his opportunity, but he missed out on that. Had he connected a few grenades over there, or maybe even a single knock, then for Medical Vibes could have thought of cleaning them out. But now they've had to shift their attention to a different spot, and Fist Boy succeeds yet again.
Doc has been taken down. At the same time, Refuse also goes down, and 4MV, they were trying to keep an eye onto Maptex and NB Esports. That is where the split came in, and Maptex, they capitalized, bringing down the numbers of 4MV. Still, Doc can be saved in the situation as long as NB Esports, they don't do a third party onto the plus of 4MV, because like you said, they are on the foothills. They are not in the best of the best position right now. East is still making sure that the players of NB Esports don't pepper any kind of bullets in their direction, so that Apex can go for the crucial revival onto Dog. But Maptex, with his vehicles ready, are already rushing in. This is the moment to strike, and they are already pushing in. Grenade on Apex, Dog goes down. At the same time, East also falls down, and 4MV, after getting 3 elimination on the 5th spot, they have been eliminated, and Maptex Esports 13 elimination. They are raining death and destruction in the lobby.
Quite disorganized play coming in from Medical Vibes, and sort of is the reason why they're eliminated like that. You know, taking fights on multiple fronts, it was just too much for them to handle. And now, you know, Stalwart, they have been constantly being pressed upon, not at the best of spots, but all they're hoping to do is try and survive. Now, Sitim also have 2 of their players alive, and look at the constant pressure being applied on Stalwart. And what can they do from this situation, right? They're the team that are kind of on the receiving end from shots from every possible direction. They come out from one side, it's Mabitex, from the other, it's Sitim. But now NB have decided to let go of that compound and take a fight against Sitim. One of their players, Jiro, has been dealt with. It's the final man standing, QB, against the world. He's got a fight to stay alive in the game. This is the perfect time for Starboard to make a move, maybe try and punish somebody out from here. But Mondo has to check the overdose. Please finally finds out QB, who is on a sliver of HP, finally falls down, and Sitim will have to bite the dust. And with that being said, Mabitex got 3 other players alive, and so do NB Esports. And now Stalwart Esports capitalizing on that opportunity, come knocking at the doors of NB Esports.
But are the players of NB Esports prepared for this? Because it's not just Stalwart Esports, it's Maptex also looking for a third party in this situation. Yes, NB Esports, they do have a very good compound to their name, but it's not just one team they have to deal with, it's 2 teams. Akaze keeping a lower potential flank checked from the side of Stalwart Esports. At the same time, having a very good angle onto tops over there. And Stalwart Esports, they need to be a bit cautious of the flank that might come in from the side of Maptex Esports. It's kind of a stalemate situation where no teams wants to, where none of the player wants to commit any kind of a mistake. But tops, yes, the smokes were there, but not enough to save him. Sliver of HP, he finally made it to the safety. But now his position has been given away, and Leo with that vehicle might be looking for a flank angle. But NB Esports, they're still looking so very promising. One grenade could result in the demise of multiple players from the side of Stalwarts.
A Mexican standoff, and I see he's been spotted out. Mondo will just launch that grenade. Has it made its mark? No is going to be the answer. And Mabitex constantly posing a threat, and Stalwart again in a really bad position, just being pressed in from 2 different sides. And this is smart from Mondo. Just make sure you've got some cover around the smoke to work around with an action. He's finally been flushed out. Does have that Molotov to, you know, work around with. But Mondo does not want to make any unwanted movements over here. Just making sure he's cooked the grenade perfectly fine. And a little, I think, overcooked there. Had he taken his time just to launch a little bit earlier, maybe would have made its distance, made its mark. And there you go, finally, you know, just hitting the nail. And now Stalwart are just survived by action, and Mabitex are just holding on to their dear lives, right? Stalwart, they've gotten as far as they possibly could have. NB Esports, they missed out on the chicken dinner in the last one, but have their eyes set that this time they're gonna make it theirs.
And NB Esports, yes, definitely they can be that ugly thorn for the players of Maptex who can stop Maptex in getting that chicken dinner. At the same time, the player holding on to the real life was action, and now Mondo deals with him. 2 teams remaining, a 3v3 situation where Kese has been knocked down by Akaze of NB Esports. NB Esports still looking very strong, and Akaze with that UMP-45 is already going for a lower flank angle. Can he get the confirmation? And if he does so, well, the numbers of Maptex not supporting the case, and Valley also goes down.
Yeah, and this is where the final player just has to get flushed out, and there you go. He gets dealt with, and NB Esports, you could see they're finally satisfied with that victory. It was a hard-fought one, but they managed to do so